Have you ever looked around at your life and thought, on paper, everything should be great. So why do I feel so empty? You got a job, maybe a family, friends, the basics are covered, but there's this nagging sense of nothingness. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. We're going to dive into the psychology of that empty feeling. We'll explore some pretty deep stuff like existentialism and the loss of meaning, but we'll also talk about how to find your way back to emotional depth and a sense of purpose. This one's for anyone who's ever felt like there's a void inside, even when life seems fine. Let's talk about that feeling of emptiness. It's a strange one, isn't it? It's not quite sadness, though sadness can be a part of it. It's not exactly depression, though it can sometimes overlap. It's more like a lack of substance, a sense that something essential is missing, even when all your basic needs are met. You might have a decent job, a roof over your head, food on the table, maybe even a loving family and good friends. On the surface, everything seems fine, even good. But underneath, there's this persistent feeling of hollowness, a void that you can't quite explain. This feeling can manifest in various ways. Some people describe it as a sense of detachment, as if they're observing their lives from a distance rather than fully participating in them. Others experience a lack of motivation or enthusiasm, finding it difficult to engage with activities that once brought them joy. There might be a sense of restlessness, a constant seeking for something that remains elusive, or a pervasive feeling of boredom, even in the midst of seemingly stimulating circumstances. This feeling can be incredibly confusing and even distressing. You might start to question yourself. What's wrong with me? Why can't I just be happy? Am I ungrateful? These questions can add another layer of discomfort to the emptiness itself. You might begin to doubt your own sanity, wondering why you can't simply appreciate what you have when so many others are struggling. This self-questioning can lead to a vicious cycle of negative thoughts and feelings, further exacerbating the sense of emptiness. To understand this feeling, we need to delve a bit into some pretty profound ideas, particularly from a field of psychology called existential psychology. Existential psychology is all about the big questions of life: meaning, purpose, freedom, and yes, the void. It explores the human condition at its deepest level, grappling with the fundamental dilemmas of existence. Existentialists argue that, as humans, we're uniquely aware of our own mortality. We know that we're going to die, and this awareness can create a deep sense of anxiety. This anxiety, known as existential anxiety, is not simply a fear of death itself, but a more profound unease about the finitude of our lives. It's the realization that our time is limited and that we will ultimately cease to exist. This awareness can be a source of great anguish, as it forces us to confront the fragility and impermanence of our existence. We're also aware of our freedom. We have the ability to make choices, to shape our own lives, but this freedom can also be overwhelming. With so many possibilities, how do we choose? What do we do with our lives? This freedom, while a gift, can also be a burden. It places the responsibility for our choices squarely on our shoulders, and there's no external authority to guide us. This can lead to a sense of paralysis as we grapple with the weight of our own autonomy. This awareness of death and freedom, combined with the inherent uncertainty of the world, can lead to a sense of existential angst. This angst isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a natural part of being human. But if we don't find healthy ways to cope with it, it can manifest as that feeling of emptiness. Existential angst is the underlying unease that arises from contemplating these fundamental truths. It's a recognition that life is not always rational or predictable, and that there are no easy answers to the big questions. One of the key concepts in existential psychology is the idea of meaninglessness. In the past, many people found meaning in traditional sources like religion, community, and social roles. These structures provided a sense of purpose and belonging, a framework for understanding their place in the world. Religion offered a narrative of creation, a set of moral guidelines, and the promise of an afterlife. Community provided a sense of belonging, a network of support, and a shared identity. Social roles defined people's responsibilities and expectations, giving them a clear sense of how they fit into society. But in our modern, increasingly individualistic society, these traditional sources of meaning have often broken down. We're left to create our own meaning, to define our own purpose. And that could be a daunting task. The decline of traditional sources of meaning has left many people feeling unmoored and adrift. We no longer have a clear, predefined path to follow, and we're forced to navigate a complex and rapidly changing world without a reliable map. Think about it. We're bombarded with messages about what we should want, what we should be, what we should achieve. But these external expectations often don't resonate with our inner selves. We might chase after these goals, achieve them, and still find ourselves feeling empty because they weren't our own goals to begin with. We're constantly told to strive for success, wealth, and recognition. But these external markers of achievement often fail to provide lasting satisfaction. This loss of traditional meaning, combined with the pressure to create our own meaning in a world that often feels chaotic and meaningless, can contribute significantly to that feeling of emptiness. It's like we're adrift at sea, without a compass or a destination. We're surrounded by a vast expanse of possibilities, but we lack the tools or guidance to navigate them effectively. This can lead to a sense of disorientation and a feeling that our lives lack direction or purpose. Another factor that can contribute to this feeling is a lack of emotional depth. In our fast-paced, technology-driven world, we often prioritize efficiency and productivity over emotional connection and self-reflection. We're constantly bombarded with information and distractions, which can make it difficult to slow down and connect with our own inner lives. We're always on the go, rushing from one task to the next, without taking the time to pause and reflect on our experiences. We might spend hours scrolling through social media, comparing ourselves to others, and seeking external validation, rather than taking the time to explore our own values, passions, and emotions. This can lead to a superficial existence, where we're going through the motions of life without truly engaging with it on an emotional level. Social media platforms often present a curated and idealized version of reality, leading us to compare our own lives unfavorably to others. This constant comparison can erode our self-esteem and leave us feeling inadequate and unfulfilled. We might also avoid difficult emotions like sadness, grief, or anger, preferring to numb ourselves with distractions or substances. But these emotions are a natural part of being human, and they can actually enrich our lives. By avoiding them, we also limit our capacity for joy, love, and connection. Difficult emotions can provide valuable insights into our needs, desires, and values. They can also be catalysts for growth and change, prompting us to confront our challenges and develop greater resilience. So, how do we find our way back to emotional depth and a sense of purpose? How do we fill that void inside? This is the central question for anyone grappling with the feeling of emptiness. It's a question that has been pondered by philosophers and psychologists for centuries, and there's no easy answer. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and it's definitely not a quick fix. It's a process of exploration, self-discovery, and a willingness to embrace the uncertainty of life. It requires courage, patience, and a commitment to living authentically. But here are some ideas that might help. 1. Connect with your values. What's truly important to you? What do you stand for? What kind of person do you want to be? Identifying your core values can provide a sense of direction and purpose. They could be your compass in that vast, open sea. Your values are the fundamental beliefs that guide your actions and decisions. They represent what you hold most dear and what gives your life meaning. Think about times when you felt most alive, most authentic, most fulfilled. What were you doing? What values were being expressed? Reflect on moments when you felt a deep sense of satisfaction and alignment, or the underlying principles that guided your actions and decisions. Make a list of your top 5 to 10 values. These are the values that resonate most deeply with you and that you want to prioritize in your life. Some examples include authenticity, being true to yourself, expressing your genuine thoughts and feelings. Compassion, feeling empathy for others and acting with kindness and understanding. Creativity, expressing yourself through artistic or innovative endeavors. Freedom, having the autonomy to make your own choices and live your life on your own terms. Growth, continuously learning, expanding your horizons, and striving for self-improvement. Honesty, being truthful and transparent in your words and actions. Justice, advocating for fairness, equality, and righteousness. Kindness, showing generosity, empathy, and consideration towards others. Love, experiencing deep affection, connection, and intimacy with others. Meaningful work, engaging in activities that provide a sense of purpose and contribute to something larger than yourself. Openness, being receptive to new ideas, experiences, and perspectives. Peace, cultivating inner calm, serenity, and harmony. Service, dedicating your time and energy to helping others and making a positive impact on the world. Wisdom, seeking knowledge, understanding, and insight into the nature of life. Once you've identified your values, start finding ways to live in alignment with them. This might involve making changes in your career, your relationships, or your daily habits. It requires a conscious effort to align your actions with your beliefs and to make choices that are consistent with what you hold most dear. 2. Explore your passions. What makes you come alive? What activities do you lose yourself in? What brings you joy and excitement? Passions give us a reason to get out of bed in the morning. They infuse our lives with energy and enthusiasm. Passions are the activities and interests that ignite our souls and make us feel truly engaged with life. They're the things that we do not for external reward or recognition, but simply for the joy of doing them. Think back to your childhood. What did you love to do? What activities made you feel happy and carefree? Our childhood passions can often provide valuable clues to what truly excites us and what brings us a sense of wonder and joy. Don't be afraid to try new things. Take a class, join a club, explore a new hobby. You never know what you might discover, and don't worry about being good at it. The point is to enjoy the process, not to achieve a particular outcome. The pursuit of passion is not about mastery or achievement, but about the experience of being fully alive and engaged in the present moment. 3. Cultivate meaningful relationships. Human connection is essential for our well-being. We're social creatures, and we need to feel seen, heard, and understood by others. Meaningful relationships provide us with a sense of belonging, support, and love. They are the foundation of a fulfilling and meaningful life. Make an effort to connect with people who uplift and inspire you. Spend time with people who share your values and interests. Be present and engaged when you're with them. Listen deeply, share your own experiences, and be vulnerable. Authentic connection requires a willingness to open yourself up to others and to allow them to see you as you truly are. If you're struggling to connect with others, consider joining a group or community that aligns with your interests. This could be a book club, a hiking group, a volunteer organization, or a spiritual community. These groups can provide opportunities to meet like-minded people and build meaningful connections based on shared interests and values. 4. Practice mindfulness and self-reflection. In our busy lives, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and lose touch with ourselves. Mindfulness and self-reflection can help us to slow down, tune into our inner world, and connect with our emotions and experiences. These practices allow us to cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. This can be done through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply by being more present in your daily activities. Mindfulness helps us to break free from the constant stream of thoughts and worries that often contribute to feelings of emptiness and disconnection. Self-reflection involves taking time to examine your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. This can be done through journaling, therapy, or simply by spending time alone in quiet contemplation. Self-reflection allows us to gain insights into our patterns, motivations, and beliefs, and to identify areas where we may be out of alignment with our true selves. Both mindfulness and self-reflection can help you to develop a deeper understanding of yourself, your values, and your needs. They can also help you to identify any patterns or beliefs that might be contributing to your feeling of emptiness. By cultivating a more intimate relationship with yourself, you can begin to fill the void within and create a life that is more authentic and fulfilling. 5. Embrace the unknown. Life is inherently uncertain. We can't control everything that happens to us. And sometimes, the more we try to control things, the more anxious and empty we feel. The illusion of control can create a false sense of security, but can also lead to disappointment and disillusionment when life inevitably throws us curveballs. Learning to embrace the unknown involves accepting that uncertainty is a natural part of life. It means letting go of the need for everything to be perfect or predictable. It means being open to new experiences, even if they're scary or uncomfortable. Embracing the unknown requires a shift in perspective, from viewing uncertainty as a threat to seeing it as an opportunity for growth and discovery. This doesn't mean being passive or giving up on your goals. It simply means being willing to go with the flow, to adapt to change, and to trust that you can handle whatever life throws your way. It's about developing a sense of resilience and flexibility, and learning to navigate the unpredictable nature of existence with grace and courage. 6. Find your purpose. This is the big one, and it's often the most challenging. What are you here to do? What's your unique contribution to the world? Purpose gives our lives meaning and direction. It's the reason we get out of bed in the morning, even when things are tough. Your purpose is the overarching aim that guides your actions and decisions, and that gives your life a sense of coherence and direction. Your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or extraordinary. It can be something simple and personal, like being a good friend, raising kind children, or creating something beautiful. It's about finding what makes your life meaningful and aligning your actions with that vision. Think about what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and how you can use your talents and passions to serve others. Your purpose might evolve over time, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep exploring and keep searching for what makes your life meaningful. Your purpose is not a static entity, but a dynamic and evolving aspect of your being. It's something that you discover and refine throughout your life as you learn more about yourself and the world around you.